I'm Anthony, and today we have Britney Ledesma.
Hello. Hi.
Britney is a big boss lady here in the Austin comedy scene. She books one of the most poppin' shows, and she's also the host
Don't
of the
tell people
Justokay podcast.
Thank you. Hi.
Don't tell people what.
That I book it.
No, I love it. All the scrubs just hounding you on social media.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you manage it very professionally, and not every show in Austin necessarily has that many people going to it.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
been
true.
kind of impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. But it's just a ploy so I can run a lot of stage time each week.
Genius.
It's a secret.
Some people expect to receive in comedy without giving, but I think your production of the show, it's a lot of generosity, a lot of stage time and, stuff that you put together so that people can be on stage. So why not, benefit from that?
That's true. And these bitches ain't grateful. So
How come?
I don't know. It's not that interesting to talk about. It's just people are the manners people have just aren't the best is the nice way to put it.
Maybe they lack professionalism.
Professionalism, any amount of like fucking self perspective, but I think that's just people in general. I think just Americans in general operate pretty selfishly. Well, I was talking about this with an Uber driver. Granted, the Uber driver, he was like my same age, but he kept asking me personal questions, so I kept lying. But like I was like, oh my God, am I gonna get murdered at one point? But we were talking about how like just like the culture in America is very selfish. Cause like, okay, in Japan, you can't eat in public or you get fined. Just as a courtesy to those around you, which I think is extreme. But like people on the subway, they don't talk in public. And I'm a big keep to myself kind of person. And I don't know.
It's a little bit different from the New York subways.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. Living in Japan must be lovely. I mean, I would be too loud for that city, but it would be nice. Or a country, not city.
So you are from Austin?
Yep.
Born and raised?
Mm-hmm.
So you've kind of seen things maybe change. When did you start doing stand-up comedy?
Like the beginning of 2019, so a little over 7 years ago.
What was it like before the pandemic, before, the institutions of, the mothership and the creek and the cave?
I will say I don't have the best well-rounded opinions on the full comedy scene. I was mainly doing open mics before the pandemic. So, I mean, open mic wise, it was sick, but it also just, there's like a bar you could reach in comedy. Cap City was in a different location than it is now. It's way better now. But, like, I don't know. I think just people in general, I like it better now. I mean, people were really gatekeepy back then, and they still are, but a lot of people were upset when everything moved over, but I can't say it didn't do anything but help my career.
The rising tide raises all ships?
Mm-hmm. No, it was great. And it's so funny, though, because, like, whenever I'm in a green room, I generally have on headphones, and nothing's playing in them. I just like to keep to myself before I go on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the best way to get tea. And so I was in a green room like a year and a half ago, and there were like two older Austin comics who like they don't really do any comedy now often. But it was just so funny, like getting their because I know them from pre-pandemic too, but getting just the bitterness, but also like the resentful, like not going with the wave instead of embracing it when everything came here. They were like, we're super against that. So it really did nothing but hold them back in their career. I just think it's very funny to be able to like hear them talking shit about how they're not getting anything and how they don't book people who don't book them. And I'm just like, buddy, I don't. One of them was like, yeah, Matthew Broussard's career should have been mine because we started together. And it was like, buddy, no, I don't know. I think like everything's meant to be will happen, and if you're not putting out good vibes, nothing good is gonna really come your way in that aspect. But that's the way some people operate. I don't know how this conversation makes for podcasting though.
No, I love it. We're just we're fishing, you know. We're just going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
But you've described your comedy as being like darker and a little bit more personal, right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't mean to. It's just like I think everyone has different things in life that lead them to have a different sense of humor, and my life's been people think because I grew up semi like well off that like that you don't have trauma, but like mine is a lot of like emotional trauma and neglect per se.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that's just how I also think dark humor. I think a lot of people who can't laugh at dark humor are really sad people.
So it wasn't something where you had to give yourself like a permit to do it. It was very authentic, and it kind of just comes from how you're feeling naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Some people are not comfortable talking about that stuff, and I find that a lot of my friends, I want to hear their really personal, authentic stories, but they keep coming up with like butt and dick jokes.
Yeah, well, butt and dick jokes work, you know. You gotta go with what goes. And, you know, if you have an original butt or dick joke, do it. That's half of what comedy is, just finding the dumbest way to be original with, like, there's jokes that work that are, like, so stupid and simple, and it's because they're stupid and simple, you know? Sometimes people don't want to think. A lot of people, especially in Texas, people who go to comedy shows are just like, they're living for the weekend. They want to go get drunk. They don't want to have to think too deep. They just want to laugh. And so sometimes it's like a butt and dick joke works for that.
Have you toured all around Texas?
I've gone to a lot of different parts of Texas for comedy, which is great. But no, I haven't gone out like West Texas, but I'm okay with that. There's like nothing in West Texas. Like I have family in El Paso. I don't need an excuse to see them. I can chill. I mainly go between Houston and here. I've done Dallas a couple times. I like Dallas. I like the crowds. I don't like going to Dallas. One of my least favorite cities. But Houston's great. They have great clubs there, and the stage time is plentiful, and the food is incredible.
In Houston?
Mm-hmm. I'm really big on if I go somewhere, all I care about is the type of food I'm going to be eating. So when I went to Arizona last year, all I was doing was eating good food. I mean, in Vegas, we ate really good ramen. Thank you guys for that. Thank Christina for paying the bill. And for bringing me. And yeah, I don't know. Really, just when I travel, all I care about is eating good food.
That's where we met as a part of Christina's boy band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun. Good times.
So I wrote so many notes.
Okay.
Do you sit down and write, or do you find inspiration and then like refine it later?
I sit down and write every day. I can't say how productive it is, but I write every day. For the past like 5 years, I've been really meticulous with it, where I write every single day, and each month I create a new Google Docs for it. So it's fun to like look back at all those, but a lot of the times I'll get an idea and then it won't be good for like another 2 years from then. So you just leave it on the shelf half baked.
Yeah, your work ethic is kind of insane because you produce and then you also are pretty skilled with like graphic design and social media marketing and stuff. Do you feel like more people should model their DIY careers after you? Because I feel like you don't really you don't really rely on like other people or places.
It's because you can't be relying on bitches. I don't know. You can't rely on anyone else to do so. Anytime I've ever like, I don't know. I've tried working with other people in that aspect, and it's like, I don't know, just do it yourself. And for me, when it comes to making graphics, it's not like the hardest thing in the world. I just use my phone or my iPad for it. Marketing, again, it's not that difficult. You just kind of have to think. Whenever I market, I just try to make sure nothing goes to open micers. So that's the big thing, is like if open micers are seeing my ad, then I'm doing the wrong ad presets for it. But yeah, I mean,
like when you're picking like where the audience goes to, like 30 and above.
Yeah, I always try to make sure it's just going to be towards like different interests that aren't even necessarily comedy related. So I don't know. I wouldn't say model it after mine. Figure it out yourself. Figure out what your stuff is. Like the show I run is like branded as like a for people with a fucked up sense of humor, but that's just to get people in the door. It also helps me be able to do my set without like because I host everyone, so it's like I don't have to warm up the crowd as much to like get them to laugh at stuff that like normally would take a couple comics for them to be like loose enough to let themselves laugh at stuff like that.
So, what is on your rider?
Charcuterie board, just because like I learned from Christina, you just can ask for that and you should. Sparkling water and canned Diet Cokes. That's it.
Okay. Nice.
And for pretty much just meat, cheese, Diet Coke, and sparkling water.
Excellent. Excellent.
What's on your rider?
If it's chocolate milk. Yeah, chocolate milk and coffee. That's really it.
That's a good rider.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. No sugar, Red Bull as well.
If they have food, a Caesar salad.
A Caesar salad. Well, every comedy club will like order from another place if they don't have your food. If they don't have your food, they'll make it happen. Like Christina asked for milk, which was the one thing they didn't get her, and so then I was like, "Hey, we need milk for." I was like, "Hey, we need to get this bitch milk." So they sent someone out to the store to grab a gallon of milk. I don't think she had a single drop of the milk.
Where was that?
It might have been Arizona. Yeah.
Before that show, I actually like right before getting up because I was not anticipating doing comedy that day. I had a almost like a stomach ache. I was like really nervous. And so that was the first time I realized like I needed food because I get pretty anxious before going on stage. Do you still get nervous before you go up?
It depends. If there are people I know in the crowd, I get nervous. If the crowd's really good, I get nervous. Or if like there's people I know that I don't really fuck with that are in there, I get nervous.
Oh,
But
if you got ops out in the crowd?
Yeah, if I got ops in the crowd, I get nervous. But that's really it. Ops in the crowd, or if the crowd's really good, because I'm always worried I'm going to be the one to tank it, or that they're too good. I'm not going to be able to keep up the momentum.
Okay. I think because I've been to a lot of your shows, I feel like maybe it's kind of built in that you have like you generally start pretty neutral and then like refresh the crowd with the hosting.
Yeah, I try. I wouldn't say I'm like the best host, but I've been trying to get better at it. I don't think anyone enjoys hosting genuinely. But yeah, I always feel so bad because whenever I host, I get progressively stoned throughout the show. So I won't mix it up. So every time, I think it was the last show I hosted, I was like, yeah, let's keep it going. This guy is so funny. The next person, this guy is so funny. Next guy, this guy is so funny. And it's just me continually saying that this guy is so funny for each single comic. And I feel bad, but I'm like, I physically, mentally cannot come up with anything else. I'll try and switch it up and be like, this guy's hilarious. But yeah, I wouldn't say, I can't enjoy weed till after I get off stage. And so once I'm done with the set, I'm like, I'm fine with hosting a little stoned, but like, I don't like to do my set stoned. So I just get stoned throughout the show.
I've also noticed, or you've shared with me, that you're sober.
Yeah, I don't drink or do cocaine, but I mean, I've done ketamine anytime I've been offered, so I don't know how sober that is, but it works for me, you know?
That's classified as California sober, maybe?
Yeah, California sober-ish. Like, I don't know. I can't smoke weed anymore, though, just because anytime I smoke weed, I get sick for 3 weeks at a time, and it's been a real bummer. This developed in December, so it's probably, I mean, I know it's for the best, but God, it's annoying. So all I do is edibles or drink weed now, which
Okay.
drinking weed as someone who also doesn't drink is a weird experience. Are those your sponsors?
No, we don't have any sponsors yet.
Okay, well then I don't feel bad saying that. Tejas Tonic is one of the worst, and I know they sponsor other podcasts on here, but they are the shittiest tasting weed drink I've ever had. I had one at the Moon Tower after party. They do it at Antone's, and the only brand they had was Tejas Tonic. And I ordered one, and the bartender was like, "Just a heads up, this tastes like shit." I was like, "Oh, I've had it before. It's fine." And then I had to go. I had a sip. My friend had a sip. It tasted like bong water. We had to take it back to there.
That's what that flavor is.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it literally tastes like bong water. And so I had to take it back to the bartender, and she was like, "I told you it tasted like shit." I had 1 cup of cranberry juice, 1 cup filled with I just poured the seltzer into a cup, and it would just be one sip after the other. And it did, yeah.
Do you go on stage when you're stoned?
Not if it's important, but if I'm just fucking around out and having fun on, like, if it's not an important show, absolutely, I'll go a little stoned. I'll never go super stoned. But, yeah, when it doesn't matter, absolutely. When things don't, I feel like whenever there's no pressure, like, if it's, like, whenever I'm doing a show that's, like, just not that great necessarily, I have the best time. I never feel pressure like I do when it's like a great show that's packed out, the crowd's hot. Then I'm fucking nervous. But like when it's like a show where it's like half attended, people are like fine, I have a great time. I have a great time going up. Like I did the Mother's Day show at Creek. There were 6 people in the crowd. It was the weirdest vibe ever, but I went up and had a great time, very stoned, made them laugh. And no one had made them laugh yet. It was
Okay.
those types of shows. I love
like a
going up on
hero.
a show where the crowd is not having fun before I get up there. That's really fun because then you just get to, no matter if you get them to laugh, that's a plus. But no one's expecting them to at that point.
So what? It's been like 7 years of stand-up?
Mhm.
Do you feel like you were funny already, and that was something that you were cultivating as you got further into it? Or do you think that you were not funny, but learned how to be funny?
I think I was funny. I don't think I was like knew how to be funny, but I think I was funny. And it's something you kind of figure out how to like, I guess, hone throughout the years. But I was not a good comic, but I was funny. And it's interesting because you meet people in comedy who are hilarious in conversation, but on stage that does not come across. Which I'm fortunate. I would never say I've been hilarious in conversation like that. I just have always used humor as a defense mechanism, I think. And so that's maybe how I figured it out. That, and I wrote a lot in college. I would write little essays. And so I like started comedy because I didn't even like click with the idea of an open mic till I went to school at Texas State at the time, and they had a buzz mill in San Marcos, and that's where I did my first open mic there after a breakup, because I ate there almost exclusively because they had vegan food, and I was mentally ill and vegan at the time. And so I saw that they had an open mic sign, and it like clicked, and I kept saying I was going to do it, and then I went through a breakup, and I finally did it. But I think a lot of people start comedy after a breakup. It's like a catalyst to get them to do something they always said they wanted to do.
Do you think relationships can help or hurt a comedian?
It depends on their work ethic. I think that a lot of people, it just depends because some people get into relationships and then they're like disappear off the face of the earth. Like they don't have any friends outside of it. And I think for that type of person, it probably hurts their comedy career. But I think as long as you have a healthy balance between a relationship and doing your own thing, it's fine. Like, I know a lot of people who have like gotten in relationships and quit stand. My last roommate got in a relationship with a shitty man. She quit stand up, So it's just like you never. I think when they break up, if they ever do, she'll come back to it. But It's like one of those things where it's like, I've just seen so many people through the years and there's people who like, you're like, oh my God, they're going to make it. They're so fucking funny. And then they quit. Like my boyfriend went on tour with Theo Von for like a year, opening for him, and he quit stand up after that. But it wasn't because of any relationship or anything. He just realized after doing that, oh, I don't enjoy this enough to continue doing it. Because he was doing what people are like living their dreams. And it was like, I don't enjoy the traveling. I don't enjoy going on stage enough to justify keeping doing this. So he quit, and he does like, you forget that there's like other forms of comedy, like writing scripts, or like he works on movies and stuff now, and he's doing great at that. But like there's different routes. So even like quitting stand up, if you're good at it or bad at it, is probably a healthy option for anyone. You don't have to. Doing stand up isn't healthy.
Just because you're funny, you don't have to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, there's like so many other routes. I hate to say it, but like improv is one of those where it's like, I think getting into improv is a pyramid scheme. It's one of those, it's an MLM. It's multi-level marketing. It's okay. You pay $300 to do this class, and then you get your friends to do this class. And then those friends get more people, and it's literally creative. But the thing about it is improv is such a good skill that if you're like, it opens up so many doors. I've never done improv. That being said, I'm not dumb enough to spend that amount of money on something like that. However, I do think that the people who are good at it and have the dedication and finances to do so, they can excel. Like Reno 911, that's a great series that, you know, a lot of it was improv.
Really? I had no idea.
I'm speaking out my ass, but I'm pretty positive a lot of it was improv. A lot of people get into like a lot of SNL people have their background in improv. That Veronica Slakowski, I don't know. She's like the newer SNL cast member who, like, I saw her TikToks, but she was an improv person. So it's like there's so many different routes in comedy that it doesn't have to just be stand-up. And I think people forget that. Like, sketches is also a form of comedy. Impressions, you never, yeah. I don't know. Stand-up isn't the end-all be-all for comedy. It's just the most, like, I guess it's the one that where people get the most, like, vain because you get all the glory instead of, like, with improv, they have to share it with their team. But I'm not an improv person, I would like to say. I'm not happy enough to be an improv. People that do improv, I find a little insufferable to talk to, but I do think if they're good at it, they're great. And I'm not against improv. I just financially probably could never afford to do it. I just cannot get myself to spend like $300 on an improv class.
I think Matt the Dub does classes that aren't that expensive. Maybe, you get some bang for your buck.
If I do improv, it's going to be at like UCB or something. You know, like it has to be accredited.
Very enthusiastic theater nerds.
Yeah, well, it has to be accredited. I not that I don't love Matt the W, but if I would like to be able to have like the
accreditation,
because then you can transfer, I guess. I don't know, but that's only if UCB will give it to me for free.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was to UCB.
What's UCB?
I could not tell you what it stands for, but
they're just the improv institution.
They're like really big, and then they opened. They bought out Cold Town Theater in Austin, so it's like the newer one. But yeah, they have like. They seem to have good. I have friends who do improv that are very funny and good at improv. So, I think it's good. However, have you ever seen bad improv?
Usually, I mean, students, like, it's a class and it's kind of awkward.
Yeah. I went to an improv show once, and it was I don't want to say it was the worst experience of my life, because but watching, and I think it goes with any art form, but when you see someone do art and they are bad at art, it's very difficult to watch. Like, it's the same with music. Like, I have a friend who, her boyfriend is a musician, and he'll play music a lot, but his music's not good. And so it's like, buddy, we're all having to suffer through this now.
Like, how does he present it, though? Is he like a guitar guy at the party, or is it like...
Guitar guy at the party.
Or like sit and listen to beats and hold the whole party captive?
At least it's not beats. It would be worse if he brought out like a little DJ set and was... I would actually enjoy that more, I think. No, My my sorority sister in college, she was seeing this guy who at like frat parties would whip out a guitar. And I've never understood the dynamic of guys whipping out a guitar for women to listen. Like, I just don't, because when I see that, I had a guy once try and play me a song on the guitar, and I told him no. Like, what do you
one on one?
Yeah, I was like, no, what do you want me to do? Is like sing back to you? I don't want to listen to you do this. I don't know. I think self-expression is very brave, and with comedy, you do self-expression in such a way where it's like, even though we're technically expressing ourselves, we're doing it at our own expense, and so it's like you're never really getting as real as it could be. But then when people are like vulnerable with music, I'm like, if this is bad, I have to sit through this and then be like, wow. No way. That was
Like, if musicians bomb, you have to kind of be nice to them.
Oh my God. Yeah. There was a musician that went up before a show I did once, and they it was this tiny little girl, and you really thought she was going to have like a beautiful voice or something. And then she just starts doing like a form of like, I don't want to say it was screamo, but she was just like singing, but like with but also like yelling at the same time. And it was like a raspy, like it sounded like a demon was like being exorcised out of her. It was like, well, like that type of, but it was like this little dainty little Asian girl, petite as can be. And you're like, how? I didn't know you could even access this voice inside of you. And it was really uncomfortable for the crowd as well, because no one enjoyed it. And we had to just be like, that was so good. And then I had to host after and be like, yeah, guys, keep it going for her. Isn't she great?
Yeah, sometimes when there's like a mixed open mic, sometimes like somebody that does music can somehow bomb harder than like a really bad comedian.
Yeah, well, I also love bad comedians. I love watching a bad open mic. I think those are really fun. I love watching people do bad at comedy in that aspect. Improv is different because I don't know, because they think but like with a bad open, like it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I used to sit at the open mics and really practice my impressions of the open micers after they would do it. And so that was fun. But yeah, no, it's rough. Especially though, like when it's a booked musician before a stand-up show, I can't shit on that musician like I would love to. Even though the crowd would probably like it as well, I have to be respectful as, I'm like, you're not a comic. Okay, I can't shit on you. You didn't give that. There's not that, I have to be nice and be like, guys, isn't she fucking incredible?
Round of applause for our very talented.
Yeah, the classic. Let's keep it going. What else do your notes say?
All right, let's do a real deep dive. Something really serious. I just tried to go really deep into the career stuff.
I want to see these.
Oh God,
the career stuff. God, I don't. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like we covered a lot of it, but
what reality show would you really want to be a cast member of? So I don't think I want to be on reality TV, but what I would love to do for my relapse one day is rent out the Jersey. And it's when I financially can afford a full camera crew and rehab after immediately, because my mental health is going to be in shambles. I want to rent out the Jersey Shore house, rig it up with cameras, get a shit ton of cocaine, a shit ton of alcohol, and just have the time of my life for like maybe like a week if like, depending on how my body can handle it. And then go to rehab after.
I heard rehab's not all that bad.
No, rehab seems sick. If it's like a nice, expensive one, absolutely. It's like
a little summer camp.
It's like a nice little break. You get arts and crafts. They have music therapy. They have horse therapy at some of them. Doesn't seem like the worst things in the world, I heard
a lot of people like to date at rehab too.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to meet someone in a rehab. That's fucking sad. What a cliche. You have more notes for me than them. Okay, what would you change about the Austin comedy scene? Nothing.
Yeah, I feel like you're doing a pretty good job of making your mark. You don't really need to augment anything.
I miss pay for play mics. That's a topic no one likes to hear about. I miss being able to get up at 3 p.m. and paying $5 for 5 minutes if I want to get up. That's my biggest qualm is that
I would like to do that too.
Is that the scene is growing and everyone gets upset when you're like, oh, a pay for play mic. And I'm like, I will pay $5 for 5 minutes on an open mic that will only last an hour. Because the thing about slotted mics, basically, they have them in LA, they have them in New York, where you pay $5, you do 5 minutes. It's an hour long. You have to stay for the full hour, but you get your 5 minutes. I'd rather do that than wait around for 3 minutes at an open mic that's like 5 hours long to get up for 3 minutes. I'm good.
Yeah, if my name's on the list, I'll usually just, if it's too far down there, I'd actually just cross it off and go home.
Yeah. It's not fun to wait around. I don't do open mics often, but I do miss the weeks where I'm not booked for an hour. I would do that. And I'd rather pay $60 to do 60 minutes than to wait around with you guys.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad. That's kind of what I'm doing here.
It's like an investment if you think about it. Yeah, I used to hit them, and it's so funny because people get very pretentious about open mics. But I was doing open mics with like people who are like touring nationally, internationally. They've been to Canada and UK as well. Like Jamie Wolf used to hit them up with me, not with me, but like we'd hit the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
were you still doing open mics in like 2020, 21, 22?
Yeah, I mean in 2021. I ran the first open mic during the pandemic in 2020, and I ran that for about a year and a half. So, but they paid me. I wouldn't have run it that long if that place wasn't paying me to do it. It was running an open mic is a thankless job, and it's not fun. But I will hit an open mic.
I was a tourist, like open mic comedian, when I saw like Hans Kim was doing this rinky dinky like bucket mic at Creek in the Cave. And that's where I like kind of met-ish you, Christina, and Hans Kim like all on this show. So I feel like I kind of look at you guys as like this, like that's kind of like a yearbook snapshot of like Austin comedy in this time, and everybody's like doing really well now.
Yeah, I forgot about that dating show. Wild.
Yeah, I mean, so like a lot of the people that were a part of that now, I mean, you're friends with Christina still. Is there anyone else that you're proud of from that moment that left a mark?
I don't.
Oh, Ray was on that show too.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I literally could. I remember doing one of his shows, but I think Christina is the most accomplished from all that. Like, it's just so funny because in 2022, Christina and I went to New York together for the first time to do comedy that February, and it was a lot of fun. Then I went back like 3 times that year, and I ended up moving there for 2 years. And it's just a period of my life I really am glad happened, but I'm also so glad to be so far away from it now. 4 or 5 years later.
New York's exhausting.
I love it. New York is the most fun comedy scene. It is brutal, it is daunting, but it's like a level of comedy that's just like it's fun. I bombed my ass off in New York in 2022, and it was the best time. No regrets.
What I hear is people can get a lot of stage time in a very like rapid succession.
You get a lot of stage time. It's not necessarily the best stage time. In Austin, you can get way more stage time than New York.
Have you been back recently?
I haven't been back in a year to New York. I went back last April. Haven't been back since because I'm afraid I'm going to go there and get really sad.
Like nostalgic?
Yeah, just like missing it. And so
You still have friends out there?
Yeah.
You should go back.
They visit me. They visit me. I'm just going to get so sad that I don't live there. I'm just not in a place where I think I can go back and visit and not be sad.
I could only live in New York because I lived there for a couple years too. I could only go back if I had like fuck you money.
Oh God, no! I love New York. If I had the money to live there, I would get a place there. I don't think I would live there full time again, just because financially that's insane. But no,
$7,000 a month with 13 roommates.
Yeah, and a walk up. No, thank you. I was in the best shape of my life because I lived on the 5th floor of a walk up. That was sick. It was miserable, but it was great. I mean, Ray stayed with me at my place there. I loved it so much. I lived in like the perfect little neighborhood. It was great to walk everywhere in the clubs. And
which hood?
Gramercy.
Oh, you lived in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, bougie.
Dude, I was so stupid with money. I spent my entire life savings over the span of like 2 years there. All on rent.
Sounds like a blast.
Pretty much all on rent. I had like 3 jobs at a time. Then that's like minimum. That's not including like pet sitting and other stuff. But that was just like
Was comedy one of those jobs?
I wouldn't count comedy as a job in New York because you lose money doing comedy in New York. Unless you're like famous, you're going to lose money doing comedy in New York. One of my friends, he lives, I think, in Atlanta now again, but he moved from Atlanta to New York, moved back to Atlanta. He already had a comedy special out from like Comedy Dynamics. He's very like well known. He tours, moved to New York. He lost money doing the stage time there. It just like wasn't worth it financially to stay there. When Atlanta, I can be a full-time comic.
Mm-hmm.
In New York, there's just a million people with specials and like 60,000 followers. So it's like, you know.
In New York, is there a food place that still lives in your mind and probably will permanently, like a little mom and pop shop that you can't stop thinking about?
Yes. There are 2 off the top of my head. Well, there's 3. Arepa Cafe. It is in Queens. It is the best Venezuelan food I have ever had that was not made by my Venezuelan family. Then Mali. It's in Gramercy. It was like down the street from me. It was next to this really shitty bar show I used to run. But yeah, they have the best Thai food I've ever had in my life. It's truly phenomenal. And the prices were like pretty good, but it was like so good. I would get it like at least once a week. And then there's a place called Rosemary's. It's not even like that incredible. Like I love the food. The service was the absolute worst. They treat you like shit, but the food was so worth it. So it was like
at Rosemary's.
Rosemary's, yeah. I went to the one in Stuytown, which is like right next to Gramercy. I went there a lot, but I also kept getting free food because they had just like gotten this new like reward system thing. But for some reason, like 2 times I went in a row, I got free food from it. And so it was like, and we felt so bad when none of us had cash on us. We all wanted to tip the waitress, and we kept being like, "Give us your Venmo," and she's like, "I can't give you my Venmo." It's like, "Bitch, you could. If you wanted that fat tip, you could." But yeah, anytime I've ever gone there, the waitresses have treated me like absolute shit. Even though I got it for free, they were so mean to you. They're just so mean to you in the process. Granted, I didn't go dressing nice. Like this was a nice place, but I lived down the street from it, so I was going in sweatpants and like a tank top half the time. So they definitely didn't think I could financially afford to be there, despite me. It's like, yeah, you paid $3,000 of rent a month. You don't meet our tax bracket here. But yeah. Oh, and then some random sushi spot off of Thompson Street in Greenwich Village was really good. Could not tell you the name of it.
So in Austin, are we going with Pete Harry's or In-N-Out?
Pete Harry's.
Why?
It's just better. In-N-Out's fries suck. I love it. They only taste good when they're drenched in like the animal sauce and
the In-N-Out
cheese.
fries are only good 30 seconds after they leave the window and enter your car.
Yeah.
And then they're done for.
They're just not good. They're not crispy enough. They're like, eh.
But they are fresh.
Are they? Pete Harry's
you watch them like cut them right in front of you.
Well, they need to figure out how to make them fresher.
A crispier?
Yeah.
I think that's what Pete Harry's has. They have
crispy fries. You can get special sauce on the side to dip them in. You can get a burger, get a lettuce wrapped. I get the double with fucking pickles on. No, not pickles. I do get pickles on it as well, but jalapenos.
So what are the low-key food spots that we need to know about from the Austin native?
I'm trying to keep them low-key.
Oh, shit.
My favorite sushi spot is called Raku. I've been going there since I was like 18. It's in West Campus, and it's just like cheap sushi that's never made me sick. So that's the bare minimum for sushi.
Do you get sick at sushi restaurants?
I've only gotten sick from 2 sushi experiences in my life, but they were, when you're sick from sushi, it's a different type of getting sick. So
people usually never go back.
Yeah, no, this place has never done me wrong, and that is why I like it.
So you got the sushi food poisoning, and you were like, you love sushi so much that you were like, I'm gonna go back.
Sushi's the best. Yeah, I love eating raw fish. It's great.
Are there any topics I should have asked before? Like, you said you've dated girls before. that you said fish, and I was like, oh yeah, she's been lesbian before.
been lesbian before. I dabbled in it once or twice. Yeah.
Were you a comedian?
Uh-huh.
Was it? Do you have any like? Do you write about that experience?
I used to do jokes about her when I was dating her, but no, I don't really talk about her. I feel like stolen valor. I've been talking about this girl recently that I used to see when I was living in New York, but she was crazy, so that's why I'm talking about her. But
So were you like dating like in New York, or did you have like a partner?
I was dating in New York. I moved there dating my ex-girlfriend, and then we broke up after 8 days. Well, she kept breaking up with me before I moved. And then she was like, no, like, sorry, I'm just like going through. I'm trying to work through. Also, she cheated on me. She'll say she didn't, but she did.
You guys didn't move together though.
No. She still lived in Austin. I lived in New York, and we were going to do long distance, and it lasted 8 whole days. Which, thank God. I'm glad it didn't work out. That bitch is crazy. She's engaged now. She got really mad because she saw a roast battle that said my ex-girlfriend cheated on me, which was her, but she was like, cheated? And I was like, yeah, that's what I would call what you did. You were seeing someone else at the same time. That is cheating. And she's like, oh, we were casual. I was like, bitch, I met your family. That's not casual.
Oof.
That's Chapel Roan casual, okay? Yeah. So you never trust a lesbian. That's just my best advice.
If you were not a comedian, what do you think you'd be doing?
Ceramics, I would like to maybe. I don't know. Something creative. I studied psychology. I did nothing with it. And I originally wanted to work with the police, but I had a lot of bad experiences to where I was like, ooh, I don't think I want to work with you guys because I don't think y'all are good people.
I've been watching Euphoria with my girlfriend. I feel like I have to.
No, you don't have to preface.
But I imagine that you would probably be a good like OnlyFans manager.
Only.
Like you could probably do a good job like cheering women
yeah, being
on.
Maddie. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be artistic enough. I would probably be okay at that. I think though.
Graphic design.
Graphic design, pictures, video editing. Yeah, that would be fun. I don't know though, being the guy, because OnlyFans managers are basically pimps, and I know a couple people who have worked at agencies. Like I know a couple of comics actually in New York who they were contracted to work in an agency, and basically they message people for the OnlyFans models. So the models, it's their photos, and then you're not messaging the model. You're messaging random people that are being paid to talk to you on the OnlyFans person's account.
In like Bangladesh.
No, they live in New York.
Okay,
people,
okay.
yeah, but yeah, essentially they could, and I'm sure
so
there
they're kind
are
of like role playing.
Yeah, I'm sure like you think you're talking to like a hot, sexy snow bunny, but it's just some guy in fucking India messaging you back, being like, "Yeah, I'm so horny for you." That's my bad Indian accent.
I'm going to send you my underwear. Well, Brittany, that's all I have, awkwardly.
This was incredible. Thank you so much.
Is there anything you'd like to mention or promote? Is there anything I can promote in a special little clip? Freaky every Saturday? The Freaky in the Cave?
Every
That's
Saturday,
a big deal.
11 p.m. at Creek in the Cave. Follow me on Instagram at Britney LED. That's it.
Thank you for watching this episode of the show. This is Britney Ledesma. Peace.